Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. The S&P 500 was up 1.4% today, and today was the polar opposite of yesterday. Yesterday, the investments that we have in our models, the energy, the value pieces, the inverses, even the inverse treasuries, all of it had a really, really good day. And today, the switch was on and it went completely the other direction into the growth type areas, which we still have a tremendous amount of these growth pieces left in our taxable accounts. I was talking about those yesterday, about making sure we kind of hang in there on those just because there's high tax capital gains we'd have to pay. I mentioned the robotics and artificial intelligence piece as an example. That had a big day today. So there was this huge move to the growth side. Now, the thing that we have to watch for is switching. So is this going to be something that continues to be an issue where everything's going back in that direction again, or is this a short-term blip, or do we get to a more even position where we're kind of battling back and forth between growth and value on sort of a daily basis? Because last year, everything on the growth side. This year, at least for the last 3-4 weeks here, everything's been on the value side. And normally it is actually fairly even amongst those. And we always have to kind of keep both in the portfolio because it's going back and forth like it did yesterday versus today. My one concern about the growth side right at the moment is that today's move was very violently up. And a lot of times when I see that, it has to do with short covering. So apparently, a lot of these different pieces that have been coming down a lot have a lot of short interest on them. And what that means is that there's a lot of shares outstanding that are looking to make a money when the stock drops. Well, if it starts to go up even a little bit, whoever's using that short covering has borrowed those shares and they're going to have to buy them back in order to give them back and not end up with a significant loss, which of course creates even more buying. So we're seeing today a lot of pieces that went violently up. And a lot of them were pieces that have been down quite a bit, anywhere from 10 to 40% from their highs, even over the last, few weeks. And so people are trying to make money by having those continue to fall. And a little bit of buying comes in, can create these moves. Now, the problem with a short covering move, it's that it's kind of a false move. There's a bunch of people buying shares that aren't really that interested in, buying that stock so it can go up. They're buying it to cover themselves because they actually thought the stock was going to go down. And you need to kind of have that belief system, to kind of get these going again, especially since a lot of these stocks are selling at fairly high, valuations. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Now, I have seen short covering rallies like this turn into full-on recoveries because people get excited and they start jumping back into these stocks again. So I think tomorrow is going to be really interesting to see what happens. I'm going to have to ask you to have a little bit of patience about our model portfolios, mainly the monies that we have invested in the IRA type accounts. They did not do well today. Yesterday, we made money in a down market. Today, we lost money in an up market. Actually, over the 2 days, we've done fairly well. But it's just one of those things, just in portfolio design. We especially got hit on the two inverse positions. Obviously, those were fantastic yesterday. And it seems like they've been going, every other day. I do have triggers and alerts built into every piece, including those inverse. If they do trigger, we'll move on to something else. But I would like to see some, more stability in the market and some more motion going in the right direction. I do like what we have at the moment, and let's just see what happens. I do believe personally that there is going to be a lot of interest in these value type stocks because they are fairly low priced. And I think that as the recovery comes, you're going to see quite a bit of interest in moving those. And they sold off a little bit today. So let's see what happens. There's not enough money in the world to make everything go up every day. And so it does tend to kind of move around in a normal market. This has not been a normal market, obviously. So I suspect, we'll find out fairly soon here what this direction is going to be for this market. And so I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Thank you.